Yo, yo, yo. How we doing today, guys? Good to see you. Welcome to another day here on the channel. We don't have too long this afternoon, but we are going to finish up KCD. And man, gonna miss it, guys. I've had such a good time in this game. I have had such a good time. I am missing it. Oh, no, Suzu, we absolutely are. Thank you. I will fix that up now. What's a chat?
Charles IV, King of Bohemia and Holy Roman Emperor, had a long and successful reign. The empire he ruled from Prague expanded, and his subjects lived in peace and prosperity.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Boom.
VIP detected.
Oh. Oh my. 1 second. New sound system already kicking butt. Oh man. Hell yeah, Barry. Appreciate that. I don't think I've heard that sound in so long. Awesome. Well, I'll have to ask Greg. I don't know if we had, I don't know. Do we have Greg VIP sounds? I'll have to talk to him about that. Okay, so first thing, let's do this. Go to the upper castle during the day and meet Margrave Jobst. All right, Mr. Jobst. Where is this? Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Cool.
Look at it.
That is some serious Tweedledeeing on that flute, Cohh flute.
What?
Madcap. Oh, wow. Nettie, that is some serious bobbing and weaving. Are you going to do Miss Side Quest first, then Epilogue? Well, the problem is that a lot of the quests that I want to do, I think we have failed.
Kettles for water.
I misspelled
goods
kingdom.
and torches.
Kingdom.
I have it all.
Okay, thank you. But yeah, unfortunately, I failed a lot of quests doing the outro area. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go do the epilogue, finish this up completely, and I think we're going to load before we did the big finale, and go from there. And then maybe do a few other side quests if we want to do. Am I going to restart on hardcore mode? Not yet. Yeah, is Cohh the King of the Dome? I am Sir Lancelot. I am Pope of the Dome. Yep, that's how that works. I'm the Dome Pope. Can't wait to see Dark Urge Henry. Oh Lord. We may have to get that. You know what? Maybe we'll give that a try. That could be kind of fun.
Oh, how? Are you going to the meeting with Margrave Jobst as well?
I am. What about Istvan?
Nice armor, bro.
I assume
That we didn't catch him? No. Because if we had, you'd be the first one to know. Have no fear. We'll get him eventually.
In 2.
I hope you're right. Anyway, let's go and see what Jobst wants from us.
My lords, Christ's blessings on you all.
And on you, Lord Capon.
And this is my son,
it's
Henry.
I didn't know you had a son, Sir Redzig.
It came as a bit of a surprise to young Henry, too.
Heyo.
This gentleman here is John II of Liechtenstein, a member of my council.
I'm honored, gentlemen.
Come join us. Margrave Jobst was just about to tell us the reason for his visit. Your Grace?
I'm sure we're all agreed, Your Graces, that all this unrest must come to an end. This kingdom needs a king.
Question is, which king?
My cousin, Wenceslas IV, who is being held in captivity.
I have to confess, my lord, that your answer surprises me a little. If I'm correctly informed, until recently you sided with your other cousin, Sigismund.
That I cannot deny, and I have always stated my position plainly. But times have changed.
How have they changed, Your Grace?
Sir, there is one thing on which we undoubtedly concur. That King Wenceslas, unfortunately, did not inherit his father's gift for governing. Sadly, his failures have cost Bohemia, the nobles, and our whole Luxembourg family a great deal of money and effort.
How did the king let it go so far, damn it?
It's in his temperament. He cares only for wine, women, and the hunt. A king, in fact, who never wanted to be king.
Then why didn't he just let his brother have the crown?
Young sir, the crown weighs heavy when there are duties to be performed, but to surrender it means giving up great privileges too.
But he did surrender power to his brother. When things started getting out of hand, Wenceslas appealed to Sigismund for help in restoring order.
What, you're saying Wenceslas invited him here?
This is starting to make my head spin.
Actually, it makes sense when you think about it. Sigismund wanted to re-establish the power of the whole House of Luxembourg. He thought if he helped Wenceslas win the imperial crown, in return his brother would help him become the king of the Romans, and leave the actual reign of Bohemia and the empire to him. Sigismund would govern, while Wenceslas could carry on doing what he was best at, enjoying the life of the imperial court.
Why wasn't Wenceslas crowned Holy Roman Emperor long ago? He was already elected king of the Romans. All he had to do was go and let the Pope put the damn imperial crown on his head.
Who knows? Maybe he'd prefer hunting and consorting with bathhouse wenches to spending time with the Pope.
Well, so would I must admit.
Sigismund's plan seemed sound enough, but it didn't quite work out, did it?
It worked for a while. He and his brother reached an agreement. Sigismund took over administration of the kingdom and began planning Wenceslas's journey to Rome for the imperial coronation. But then Wenceslas realized he would just be a puppet with a crown.
I must say, Margrave Jobst. Wenceslas and Prokop behave rather like naughty children in need of a good clout about the ears.
Sigismund would agree. He was already planning his rule of Bohemia, and all of a sudden, the rug was pulled from under him. I'd say he lost his patience and decided he'd drag Wenceslas to the coronation kicking and screaming if he had to. Just like a naughty child, as you say.
So he abducted him and your brother Prokop too, if I heard correctly.
Correct.
And you helped him do it, if I heard correctly.
Yes, your graces, it's true. I was there when Sigismund abducted Prokop. I thought everything could somehow be settled, that we could make my brother see sense. But Sigismund just wanted to put an end to the dispute once and for all, whatever the cost. There was nothing I could do to stop him. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here.
Thanks, Wandering Mage.
The worst of it is that it was all for nothing. Instead of putting a stop to the revolt, it escalated it, and the result is this chaos we have today.
That's true enough, sir. But I must admit now, I'm not sure what your position is.
I know, right?
The king is incompetent, but we must protect him?
The simple truth, gentlemen, is that for all of Wenceslas's faults, we have no one else.
So we'll have to make do with his idleness.
People like him, though.
But what can we do now? Sigismund has the League of Lords behind him. Otto von Bergholf,
Panos, completely
Heinrich
agree.
von Rosenberg.
The situation has gotten completely out of control. Now even the nobles of the League of Lords are realizing that Sigismund wasn't the right choice.
So now Berghoff is on your side. Are we to assemble an army together with him and face Sigismund on the field of battle?
We're not in Hungary now. Such affairs may be settled elegantly, without unnecessary hostilities or expenses. I have negotiated an alliance with the Hungarian bishops, the Polish, and of course the Czech nobility, against Sigismund. Every day he is losing the ground under his feet, and that's why I need your help too.
What kind of help, though? Sigismund has a massive army, and Rosenberg, Berghoff, and Prague are behind him. Do you have an army you could face him with?
But that's not what I mean at all. There's been a revolt against Sigismund in Hungary. partly due to my efforts. And now he'll have to choose whether he wants to gain the Bohemian crown, which is a very risky enterprise, or hold on to the Hungarian one. He can't have both. And there's a tough struggle awaiting him in Hungary. I'm not sure he'll win, and Rosenberg and Berghoff know it too. They're not stupid. If the Bohemian nobility stands together, they will turn.
We are men of little consequence, Margrave. Radzig here lost everything because of his alliance with Wenceslas. Sir Divish came within a hair of the same fate. Even Rattay is defenseless against Sigismund and the League of Lords.
What's more, Your Grace, King Wenceslas languishes in captivity in Vienna. He can't rule too well from there.
And what do you propose? To sit with your arms folded till the Bohemian lands are turned to ashes like Skalitz? We have to put a stop to this senseless war!
And do you know, sir, what the true position of the League of Lords is?
I'm not on the best of terms with them at this moment, so you'll have to ask them yourselves.
Yes. Why not? I'll go and visit Berghoff at his castle and we'll see what he tells me.
You know, that's not such a bad idea, young sir.
True. Though a little risky.
I doubt Berghoff would harm a blue-blooded envoy. And you can find out what he has to say about developments and what the League of Lords is planning. Then we'll decide what to do next.
I'll help you compose a letter to him.
I'd like Henry to come with me.
Why not? He's proven himself an able investigator, and he'll also be a good bodyguard if anything should happen.
And I'll send Sir John here to Kuttenberg to be my eyes and ears there. I believe both your reports will help us get a better grip on the situation.
When can you set out?
Just as soon as I've packed my things.
Excellent. Margrave Jobst and I will draft a letter. Get ready, and we'll meet back here.
Let's do it.
So, it looks like you're off on a mission.
Yes, I can't wait.
I don't want to dampen your spirits, my boy, but watch out. These are evil times, and who knows what can happen along the way. Not to mention that Berghoff is no saint.
Don't worry.
I know. You've shown you can fend for yourself.
Got my helmet?
Take care.
Thanks.
You'll be traveling as Lord Capon's bodyguard. You'll be there to make sure nothing untoward happens to him. Keep your eyes peeled and your ears wide open. What Berghoff tells you is one thing, but what you see may be quite another.
Rest assured, Father.
And don't get embroiled in anything else. Just hand over the letter, hear out his reply, and return.
Yes.
Yes, my lord.
Very well. Berghoff is at Trotsky Castle. I think you'll find it quite an eye-opener. It's one of the finest castles in the land. It's 3 days' ride from here, so unless you hit a snag along the way, you'll be back soon enough. Any questions?
Opossum. Yeah, Opossum says there's an article recently that stated the KCD2 script is twice as long as the KCD1 script. Hopefully lots of good dialogue in there. Yeah. Fairly Arcane says actually it's more than 2.5 times bigger. Dang. Okay. We're going to the bathhouse? Pfft, obviously.
I'm getting a bit lost in the Luxembourg lineage. It all seems a bit too tangled.
The Luxembourgs have ruled the Empire and Bohemia for almost 100 years now. Emperor Charles brought this land to prominence. When he was in power, things had never been so good. Wenceslas and Sigismund are his sons, but by different mothers. Jobst and Prokop are their cousins. They were entrusted with governing Moravia, but instead, they've been in a bitter armed feud for years, and now Sigismund's fallen out with Wenceslas. Wenceslas also had another brother, the youngest, John of Görlitz, who was most probably poisoned.
Oh.
They seem like a hot-blooded lot. It's hard to keep up with their affairs, since they tend to change their alliances from one day to the next.
Dang.
Who is he really, this Jobst?
The cousin of King Wenceslas. He's the Margrave of Moravia. I admit I don't know what to make of him myself. Until recently, he was allied with the League of Lords. For a time, he even served Rupert of the Palatinate against the king. And now suddenly, he's reversed his position. I don't know what led him to do it, and one can't help being suspicious. It's best to keep a watchful eye on him. But he really is the leader of the resistance against Sigismund these days. We'll just have to see how it all turns out.
Okay.
I'm a bit concerned so many people seem to think so little of King Wenceslas. You knew him, didn't you? What's he really like?
Well, there's no straightforward answer to that question. He certainly makes a great hunting and drinking companion, but he can be very fiery and impetuous when things don't go how he'd like them. He never had much of a head for high office. He finds it tiresome. Once a man's grasped the scepter, it's hard to let it go again. You can't just abscond. You've seen for yourself what happens when he disappears for a few months. Better a bad but legitimate king than a bloody war over the throne.
That's fair.
Who is this Prokop that Jobst spoke of?
Jobst's brother, the king's cousin. He and Jobst warred over Moravian supremacy for years.
Hey, one punch back.
Then they were allies for a while, betrayed Wenceslas and sided with Rupert of the Palatinate. But after Sigismund abducted Wenceslas, Prokop fomented a revolt against him, and Sigismund had him captured. Politics. Make of it what you will.
Dude.
I, for one, can't make head or tail of it most of the time.
Hey, Rias.
The League of Lords and that Berghoff we're off to see. Who are they exactly?
The lords of the powerful houses. Heinrich of Rosenberg, Otto of Berghoff, Heinrich of Radetz, and others. They're unhappy with the way their influence declined after Wenceslas surrounded himself with the lesser orders of nobility. They abducted the king years ago and made him bow to their will. They got away with it that time, and now they've joined forces with Sigismund and done it again. But now it seems that Sigismund's behavior is starting to rub them up the wrong way, so they may well be thinking twice. We'll see what Berghoff has to say.
Did you zoom out the stream source a bit, or is my browser having a hiccup? No. I mean, we're in dialogue, so there's letterboxes. If that's what you're talking about. Yep.
I don't know all that much about Sigismund.
He's the king's younger brother and king of Hungary in his own right. 7 years ago, he led a crusade against the Turks and was defeated at Nicopolis. Some say it was due to the recklessness of the French knights, most of whom were mercilessly slaughtered.
Fen needed a pat.
Sigismund is ambitious and capable. He might well make a better ruler than Wenceslas, but he's arrogant, and to our misfortune, brutal. Not long ago, he himself was held captive by the Hungarian nobility. They dislike him as much as some of the Czech and German noblemen do his brother Wenceslas. Ironically, Wenceslas joined forces with Jobst to liberate him, and now this is how Sigismund repays his brother. There's no doubt about it, God does move in mysterious ways.
As do brothers.
Rupert of the Palatinate. That's a name I hadn't heard before today.
Rupert is the Prince Elector of the Palatinate.
What's a Prince Elector?
The Prince Electors are dignitaries of the Holy Roman Empire who have the right to elect the King of the Romans, who would then be crowned Holy Roman Emperor by the Pope. Rupert took the title for himself with the help of 3 other Prince Electors, even though Wenceslas had already been appointed. Some of the nobility in the empire recognized Rupert's claim, but when he went to Rome to be crowned emperor, it turned into a fiasco. Now he's doing his utmost to get Wenceslas to acknowledge him, but so far without success. So, now we have 2 kings of the Romans. Jobst sided with Sigismund for a while, but now he's switched allegiance. He seems to do that quite a lot.
He does. Just making sure this is locked. Everything's locked here, so it should be fine. Okay.
That young man, Sir John of Liechtenstein.
Thanks, Iron Fist.
Why is he here?
The
Appreciate it, man.
Liechtensteins are a powerful Austrian family with estates in Austria and Moravia. Sir John sits on Jobst's council. Since the king's being held captive in Vienna, I suppose it makes sense to have a powerful Austrian house as allies. It could be very useful.
Okay, I think we're good.
That's about all.
Very well. Take the letter from Sir Hanush. And good luck, son.
Thanks, Dad.
Sir Divish, I think I don't think. Didn't know anything about Jobst. I'd say he's right. But her to...
I pay attention. This will be on the test. Oh yeah, I paid attention to all
I
of them.
believe we have written it well, gentlemen.
Without a doubt. No one could deduce from this whether we are Sigismund's allies or foes.
I must travel back to Brno now, but soon I will go to Brandenburg and I will stop here on the way back. By then, Sir Capon should be back and we can discuss how to proceed.
Right. Before you leave, my lord, there is one thing that gives me no rest. Why did Sigismund come as a foe? It makes no sense.
If I may, sir, I think I can explain.
Oh, please enlighten us, young sir.
I live not far from Hungary, where Sigismund reigns. It is a savage country, and the constant war with the Turks has hardened the people. They need a monarch with an iron hand. So when Sigismund felt the wind of revolt, he reacted as he would at home. Only what works on the Hungarian nobles does not work here in Bohemia.
Bringing order is one thing, but slaughtering and pillaging with a horde of barbarians quite another. What purpose does that serve?
But Sigismund did give the Bohemian nobles a chance to take his side. It was only when they refused his ultimatum that he lost patience and took to the sword.
As for the barbarians, he could afford nothing better. The Hungarian nobility would gain nothing from joining his campaign in Bohemia. He didn't have enough coin for a regular army, and so he recruited the Cumans. What he does not pay them, they make up for in plunder.
But in the end, he didn't have enough to even satisfy the Cumans. That's why he raided Kuttenberg and Skalitz. He wanted the silver.
That makes sense.
My lords, how's the letter coming along?
It's done.
Then we can be on our way.
Now remember what we said, boy. All you have to do is deliver the letter, listen to the answer, and come back here. Don't provoke Berghoff in any way.
Provoke? Me? Never, Uncle. We'll be back in a few days. Farewell, your graces.
What are you doing?
Come, Henry, my men are waiting.
I wish you Godspeed.
This is a little sussy. Little Sustinella over here. Oh! No! No!
Come
On your
now,
feet,
Hal.
Cohh.
My men are mustered in the courtyard. We can get going.
Oh.
Applause, please.
I'm gonna ride off with Sir Hans.
Nighttime venture.
You must be joking. I haven't had so much fun since... actually ever.
Really? Despite being wounded? Actually, you missed the best part. When I was hauling you like a sack of grain to the battlements, dead to the world.
Love it.
It can't have been that much fun if I fell asleep. But you might have handled me a bit more gently. I'm black and blue all over.
Oh, all right then. Next time I'll just leave you to Istvan's tender mercies.
Nonsense. What would you do without me? Still, thank you for hauling me out of there.
Anything for you, my lord.
So that's interesting. So people are saying epilogue is basically the exposition for the next game. So I thought the next game picks up like years later. So I don't really see, like, a lot of the stuff we're doing now can't be the same, right? KCD 2 starts 2 days later? What? Wait a second. Wait a second. Hold up. Okay, keep in mind, I've been on a total blackout of this game. Okay, now, but hold on. Now I'm very confused. So, you know what? Okay. If they've talked about this, I don't. I'm so hesitant if I should say this, but I really want to. The thing. Okay, I was under the assumption. that KCD 2 was like a couple years later. And I thought that somewhere in those years they were going to come up with something to pull Henry's power level back down. But dude, if KCD 2 is happening like 2 days later, like how is Henry still not a freaking combat god? Like how? I don't know, man. Because, like, the story is about him becoming really good at combat. It's not like they could just, like, bring all his stats back down and be like, okay, he's weak again. Like, you know, like the... We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do. With a couple years, they could come up with all sorts of things. But a couple days? Like, oh, man, okay. Okay. Let him cook? Oh, we're gonna. Dude, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Oh, my God. I am so hyped for KCD2 at this point. Oh, do I have to get on that horse? Or do I have to talk to him? I have to talk to him. He gets a tragic head injury. Maybe. Oh, damn, dude. What if the game starts, like, 2 days after, but then something terrible happens to Henry and it, like, time skips years later and he's lost all his skills? Oh, man. I'll just see.
So, can we set off now, Henry?
Of course. I can't wait.
So, to horse. The Lord of Burgov is bound to be waiting as eagerly.
Stop, she's sleeping. Stop growling her. Dude, Fen wants to play with Sophie so bad, but Sophie's sleeping. Fen walked up and just put his head on Sophie's head as Sophie slept. And Sophie just opened her eyes and looked directly into Fen's, who was right in front of hers, and just goes, like, like, Fen, I am sleeping. Go away, small dog. And now Fen, who has learned apparently.
What about Rodsey?
Oh, one sec.
Has he accounted for not owning up to you the whole time?
He explained it. All will be well, I think.
Glad to hear it. It's far more acceptable for a nobleman to befriend a noble bastard than a blacksmith's son.
Mind you, don't come to blows with a blacksmith, my young lord.
Hey, Faluden, what's up, buddy?
What do you think about Sir Jobst and his plan?
Well, I admit all the scheming has me a little lost. I thought Sigismund was the devil, Wenceslas a martyr, those on his side the heroes, and those against him the villains. I believe we'd rescue the king and all would be well again. But now it looks a lot more complicated.
Exactly. I didn't expect the noble lords to be as noble as the angels, but I hadn't expected such a sewer. They behave like children.
I can't fathom how after all this backstabbing they're somehow still on speaking terms.
I don't know either. Beggar's belief.
Faluden says, hope you finally got over the sickness.
King Wenceslas
I'm like 95% done.
Such a
feckless drunkard. Not really.
Which is great. I'll take
and to be honest, I'm not sure I wanted to know. I slept better, believing my fate was watched over by a wise and powerful monarch.
So did I.
What a dismal world when you can't keep trusting your own king.
Right?
And times were better with him here than with him gone.
Isn't that the truth?
What do you think of Sigismund?
If I were him, I'd have had enough of my brother even sooner.
But he's a monster. Look at what those hordes of his are getting up to here. What he did in Skalitz.
True enough. On the other hand, if Wenceslas and Prokop hadn't double-crossed him, none of this would have happened.
No one forced him to burn Skalitz.
Somebody just brought up the really good point in YouTube chat. You know, honestly, Henry becoming a master in combat in like a few weeks is also pretty unbelievable. I mean, you're not wrong.
But he couldn't let them shit all over him either. Not that I'm defending him, mind.
He's a weasel.
No doubt about that.
He learned to read in an evening. Yeah.
Do you know anything about Prokop?
Ha! Sir Hanush could tell you a thing or two about him.
Why?
Last winter, a certain Sir Jan Sokol of Lamberg, a well-known knight, or robber baron to some, tried to occupy the city of Iglau, which was on the orders of none other than Prokop.
And what has that got to do with Hanush?
Well, he was there with him. Of course, that's not something to brag about in front of Jobst.
And what was it all about?
They wanted to occupy a city that was on the side of the League of Lords, but despite there being several hundred strong, they didn't take it. For one thing, they couldn't get past the Iglau women, with their pitchforks and cauldrons of hot water.
Nice.
I would never have thought of Sir Hanush as such a rebel. And have you heard anything about Rupert of the Palatinate?
A little. He can't manage even to wrest power from a king who doesn't much care for ruling and isn't fighting back. That doesn't seem like a man who has what it takes to rule. And that's all I need to know.
Uh-oh.
And that Burgos.
Did you hear about David Lynch? I did.
You know anything about him?
Yeah.
I haven't heard much good about him, but I have a feeling that some other nobles are quite in awe of him. And his castle is apparently quite impressive. I'll be interested to see for myself.
Rest in peace, David Lynch.
And what about the League of Lords?
Wealthy, pompous. The king doesn't seem to like them much. He's chosen to let the lesser ranks of the nobility into his circle, men like your father. I admit I don't blame him one bit. But the lords weren't happy about their lost influence, so they put their foot down. If I were Wenceslas, I'd have let them hang after they abducted me the first time. But he gave them seats at the provincial council? Little wonder they're back at their old tricks.
Grevin says Cohh has a big threat on LSF. Dude, the comments I made in that LSF clip are probably like the most benign, lightest jab you could possibly make. I'm baffled anyone even picked up on that, let alone it became a thread. Of all the stuff that's been said lately, that's probably the tamest of all of them. Yep, it's wild, which is why I'm doubling, tripling, quadrupling, and septupling down on it. Anyway. Don't. That was a stop. Jokes. At this phase of it, jokes. Yeah. I hope and would like to think that everything is over. It seems to have calmed down a bit, so let's hope it does. This is pretty much the end of the game. It is. Yep. This is the end of our official KCD1 playthrough, and my lord, I am so glad that we chose to come back to this game. Father says, I'm probably the worst because I don't even know what LSF is or what Cohh's talking about. That's, honestly, you're better off. There's not much that will add to your life that comes from any of the two things you just mentioned, the topic at hand and LSF. It's cool. Like, just keep on keeping on, brother. I'm actually a little jealous. Okay, you're good. Don't worry about it. Not worth your time. Oh. So what's Henry's status now? He's considered a nobleman now that it's common knowledge he's Radzig's son. Well, he's a noble bastard, and being a bastard is, in this day and age, complicated. Complicated. Yep. Silicup says, excuse my ignorance and don't get me wrong, I love the content, but what made you rise in popularity, game or moment? So I'm not sure, but for me, the reason this channel is where it is because I've been doing this for like 12 years and treating the whole thing like a job, pretty much. So, yeah.
How about it, Henry? Can we go? Are you ready for this?
Let's do it.
Of course. At last I'll get to see more of the country and have a bit of an outing.
Quite.
Spike X, I know, right?
Let's get to it then. I finally have the feeling we're doing something worthwhile. We're helping to save the king.
This entire game has felt like the opening quest to KCD2, now that I know it starts a couple days later.
Get the sword back from him.
This is like the tutorial for KCD2.
Cheer up, Henry. I have a feeling you'll get your chance one day, and it won't be long in coming. Forward, men! Audentes fortuna juvat!
Oh, what an ending! That really, dude, that, especially knowing what KCD is, now especially knowing when it picks up, like this, knowing how much more KCD2 is, like it really does feel like we just completed some kind of tutorial. Like I feel like we've just begun the journey with this. Even though I just finished up, what, 60 hours, 70 hours? All I want to do is play more right now. If I could start KCD2 right now, I would totally start it right now. But yeah, that was, man, that was a thing. That was fun. That was fun. Okay. Oh, press E to continue. I will. Boop. Oh, it's not E to continue. Wait, what? Oh. Does it just put you back here? I think maybe, right? Do 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 do. Just need to reload? Okay, cool. Great. Alright, give me 1 second. Bum 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 bum. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to find the game. Let's do a save here. Like, I don't know why, but let's just do a save here. Maybe we want to. Okay, now we need to load the game. Which one was it? Oh, no. Wait, we might be okay. I think I deleted my manual save. I think I deleted the manual save before we went to the other place. But I think this might be the fresh save. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, I think we're good. Cool. So, perfect. Let's sleep until morning. Oh, can't sleep. Hey, Sophie. Sleep until morning. Good girl. You're a good girl. Ooh. Let's go do the tourney. Did I do the village? Oh, we did everything. We did all the DLC. We did absolutely everything. The only thing we didn't do is all the side quests. So we're going to probably do a little bit of side questing now. Oh, wow, Cohh, I just saw the bleed purple tweet. Thank you, dude. Oh, man. I haven't actually shown it off yet because right when I got it, my kids immediately stole it and I haven't found it. But yeah, we hit 250 million watched hours on Twitch. And they sent us, like, the bleed purple statue, the chrome one, the top one. Oof. Yeah, pretty awesome, man. That's a crazy number to think about. So I really appreciate everyone who's been here over the years contributing to that. Because that's actually insane. Yeah, it's watch hours. So 250 million hours watched by people over the years. Yep. Cohh, did you used to advertise your stream in public chat in Neverwinter Nights a long time ago? Yes. I absolutely did. Yep, that's me. If you saw that, that was me.
The Lord be praised.
I'd like to enroll.
All right.
Of course.
I'll write you. And I need...
Longsword.
Good. Take care now.